Hi, it's Philippa here. Just before you get to the episode, I just wanted to tell you about something really exciting that's happening in October that Robbie and I are taking part in. And I'm talking about the HSP Awakening Summit. It's virtual, so it's online. It's totally free. It's been organised by the wonderful Jen Corcoran and Josh Sperano. And it's all about raising awareness for us HSPs and also for non-HSPs so that everyone can recognise that sensitivity is not a weakness. It's different, that's all. 30% of the population are thought to be highly sensitive. Equally 50% men, 50% women. That's 2 billion people. 2 billion people, folks. There's a lot of us, and I think a lot of HSPs just don't know that they are highly sensitive, which is why Jen and Josh have put together the HSP Awakening Virtual Summit, and Robbie and I are both taking part, and we are really excited to share this with you. So what is it about? There are 25 talks, I think, 5 each day over the 2nd to the 6th of October. And by the end of the event, HSPs and also non-HSPs will discover the many benefits of embracing the gifts that come with being a highly sensitive person. And some of the speakers actually refer to that as high sensory person. It's the same thing. The days are split into themes: learn, grow, sell, lead, and thrive. It's just so exciting. There are so many phenomenal speakers. I've had the great pleasure of connecting with them all over the last couple of months. It really is going to be brilliant. And I want you to know about this. I want you to know it's free. You can sign up now. You can have your name put on a waiting list now so that when the summit goes live, you'll be told, you'll be informed, and you can book which talks you want to listen to. All of them, if you want to. They will be available for a week afterwards. So you don't have to watch them on the day. You will get a recording and they will be available for a week. So please, if you're interested, if you know anybody who might be interested, please sign up and give our speakers all some love on the week of the summit. I will put the link to sign up in advance in the show notes. It's a bit complicated for me to actually read it out, so I will put it in the show notes. And if you're listening to this nearer the time, you can Google the HSP Awakening Summit. And I've tried that. It does come up, and you can book what talks you want to listen to at that time. But also, please go to the link and sign up in advance so that you don't miss a thing. Okay, that's it for now, and on with the episode.
Hi, and welcome back to the HSP Connection. I'm Robbie Lee, and today I'm here with a very special guest. She's helped me tremendously on my own self-employment journey. She's full of wisdom, knowledge, insight, and packages that all up with kindness and compassion. I consider her a mentor and a friend, and I'm thrilled to welcome to the podcast today, Val Nelson. Val, welcome.
Robbie, it's so nice to be on the show with you. And I'm thrilled that you're doing a podcast because you have so much to offer. Oh. And I love that people are getting to hear your voice. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I truly am excited to have you here. And I'd love for you to kind of let people know a little bit more about who you are and what you do in the world.
Yeah, thank you. So I call myself a career and business coach for highly sensitive people and introverts. And often my clients are sensitive, introverted women. That's the most common. And they are, right, they're wanting a life and livelihood that fits who they are instead of trying to put themselves in a box. And it's just so draining. So I love helping people kind of reorient back to what's going to really work best for you and your work life. I really love helping people who are kind of open to a more freedom lifestyle, like a self-employment kind of journey, and getting creative with what they do, because sometimes it's hard to find something that fits us in the regular employment world. It can be done, and I do help with some of that, but I really love helping with the self-employment journey, both the transition into it, or even deciding in the transition, and making it better at any stage. I help people no matter how many years they've been in. There's usually something that can be better for their energy or for their sustainability or happiness.
Yes. I mean, I resonate with what you're saying so much, as you know. I mean, I came to you for help and I'd already established my business, but I needed help and like with my energy management and for crafting a business that actually works for me. And, you know, we get all these messages in society about what business should look like, how things should go. And what I loved in working with you is it wasn't about any of that. It was, you're so gifted at helping us tune into the things that work for us and making that okay, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that this might be a high sensitivity talent is that I'm really good. Yeah, I think it is. I'm really good at tuning in to people and what's going to work well for them. But I also know the market and what tends to work. So then I can be a good matchmaker of, okay, what works that works for you? And then we can get, into that. Like, oh, here's some options that I think are going to work well for you. Let's look at those. So yeah, I love doing that. Sometimes I even do that in one session. So I do these a la carte marketing consults where I sit down with someone and we just get clear on what's going to work for you so that you don't have to go to like every webinar and learn every method and be on every social media platform. It's ridiculous. You can't do that. That doesn't work for anybody's energy, honestly, but especially ours. We have to be really picky about what we do with our energy, but we can be very efficient and focus on what really builds on our strengths, including our high sensitivity superpowers.
Yes. Yes. I love what you said about being a matchmaker. That's such a great visual for how you do it. Absolutely. You tune into what the strengths the person brings, and you have such a knowledge about the marketplace, and you're able to tune into that as well. And yeah, you're just great at what you do.
Oh, thank you. But I don't always know, that particular person's audience. So I help them understand how to truly know your audience too. So I can help match make as a starting place, but then help you know how to really nail it, and get that match really. A lot of people even struggle like, where do I best fit? What's my niche? So that's something I help with too. It's like, okay, do we need to do anything about niche? Could it be even better? And I'll tell you a tip about niche, actually.
Yes.
A lot of times people think, oh, I guess I better choose a niche or a niche market or something. But actually, you already have a niche. Niche just means where you best fit. Everybody has a best fit place. The issue is discovering it and being able to name it. So, yeah, I love that stuff. I love helping people see, yes, there is a place that fits for you where things flow best. So we're going to try to find that, like, this is where the river's flowing well. Let's get in that river.
Yes. I remember one thing you said to me too is you can also choose, because one of the things I would bump up against is it feels like we're making these big decisions as business owners, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, and it's going to have such big impact. And it just, as highly sensitive people, we can overthink things anyway. And I remember you were just like, just do it for now. We could do a niche for now, right? Just like try it on. I was like, oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
And those little, they're not little, those methods you have are just so helpful in getting the energy unstuck and back to flowing again.
Oh, thank you for that reflection. I think I'm good at helping people like shrink things down into the doable bite size and the for now, because that takes away the pressure. You can add the word for now on almost anything and it helps a lot.
It really does.
Niche for now, marketing methods for now, my prices for now.
Exactly.
I'm going to try self-employment for now.
For now. Yeah, it's true, right? It's like, it's a key, it's a reminder to the brain. We're not signing on for life. Like, so if something bad happens, we're not stuck here, right? We're just trying it. Yeah.
Just trying it. And oh my gosh, so much information comes from getting in there and trying it.
Yes.
Get your feet in the water.
Yes,
See
exactly.
what happens. Yeah. I didn't, when I first started my business, I didn't know what prices to start with. And first I started with free just to try things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was nervous to charge more, but I was ready. I wanted to start learning.
Yes.
I was doing some consulting. So someone just gave me some prices for that. But coaching felt scarier, and I didn't know how to was it like a month-long thing, a 3 month, a 6 month, a one-off, or just blah, and so I just did I practiced charging. So the next person was $15 a session, just so I could practice receiving that money for serving. And then I could start to see the value. And so the next person I charged a more normal kind of price, but it was still not where I needed. Mm-hmm. And then I went from there until each person I went up a little bit more. So it was gradual, and I could sneak around the fear part of my brain.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's just a little thing. And, but I didn't know the answer to what do you charge? I had to figure it out by doing. And pretty much that's what I've done with everything.
Figuring out by doing has been key for me too, because my inclination was to try to figure out by thinking and feeling without the doing. And the thinking and feeling are helpful, but not if that's all you're doing, right? It's like somehow I thought I could get it all figured out before taking a step.
Yes,
and
so be safe.
Exactly. And it just doesn't work that way. It just does. It's so much easier actually to figure it out while doing, because you get so much information in the doing.
Yes. So you have to find safe enough to try.
Yes.
You're never going to get too safe.
Yeah.
So,
that's beautiful.
It's hard. But so, when I say you just got to do, that's not the only thing you do.
No.
Having support.
Yes.
Right? Like someone holding your hand through that and helping you decide. And, I had
100%.
Lots of help every step of the way. And the more I let it in, that's what really helped my business work. The more I let it in. And I didn't always pay for that. I'm not saying you have to spend a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was barter. Sometimes it was a friend to talk to. Sometimes it was asking someone to refer business to me. It happens in all kinds of ways, letting in support.
That's such a key, because we can sometimes feel like we're out on an island, or that we're supposed to figure it out on our own, or that if we're having, some of the things I would think is like, there's something wrong with me here, if I'm not figuring this out right, or if I'm failing, my perfectionist voice would start kicking in and going, what's wrong with you? And it's in the reaching out for help and getting all those connections that helps get that energy going again. And just that, it's the reminder of, I'm not here by myself. I don't have to have it all figured out. That's why we have community.
Yeah. Community is so good.
So good.
I'm so glad you're going to be hosting a community for HSPs.
Yes. Yes.
And we met because we were both in a community.
We sure did.
So.
Yeah.
We like community.
We do. It's super helpful. It's super helpful.
Yeah.
You've worked with, I don't know how many, but lots and lots of HSPs in, in the entrepreneurial space and the self-employment space. And I'm wondering if you notice any patterns of, because lots of different people go into self-employment for different reasons, but I'm wondering if what do you notice about HSPs and self-employment? What are you seeing?
Great question. Oh, I love patterns and stuff.
I know you do.
That's another HSP strength, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Noticing
That's right.
Patterns.
Yeah.
Big picture. So I majored in sociology, by the way. So we love to look at the picture,
Perfect.
Big picture, what's happening. So that's part of what I bring, that mindset. So a couple of things come to mind. One is that HSPs tend to crave the freedom of self-employment, which it is. The freedom is wonderful, especially after some hard employment experiences.
Yes.
Trying to smush myself into doing it someone else's way and all that. So we crave a break from that, whether we know it or not. There's like a burnout that's like a brewing craving of something else. And yet there's this voice that goes, yeah, but that's too hard. That's for other people. I definitely had that. That's for other people, extroverts and people who don't worry so much, overthink so much, or more risk taker types. I had all these thoughts about the type of person that could do it. And you'd have to be out there networking, and I hated all that and stuff. So the craving and the but I can't kind of voice that tends to be pretty common for highly sensitive people and introverts. This is something they have in common. Now, I happen to be both, so all I knew is that I need freedom. Scary. But what's so funny and sad is that same thing we think we're bad at is actually something we have superpowers for. So as a highly sensitive person, one of your top strengths is empathy. Unfortunately, we tend to push it down because it feels hard sometimes. So we need to like reconnect with it and the joy and the power of it. And it's actually one of the most important strengths you need for business and marketing. Marketing is just applied empathy.
Wow.
It's about tuning into your people. What do they need? Let me offer something that they need. Let me describe it in a way that they will understand. That is all empathy based. If you can apply your empathy to those things, you're going to be awesome in business. Now, there's other things to figure out, but look at that. Number one, we got it in spades.
And you threw out the big M word, marketing, which was for a lot of us so scary. It was for me too. It's like, oh gosh, because there's so many examples of yucky marketing out there. It's just like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And it seems like it's going to take more of me than I have. And yet you're saying here, well, one of my innate superpowers, empathy, is the thing that's going to help me be a great marketer. Like that's incredible. Yeah.
I know. Like if people remember one thing that I say, it's this thing you think you're bad at is actually something that you have superpowers for. And it's a matter of just consciously remembering to tap that direction to make it easier. Now, it still takes some time to, okay, what does that mean? What does it look like? What does it mean for me and my audience? And the time it takes to get clear on your people and all that. Those are steps to take. But when you're applying your strengths, it all gets way easier. And you don't have to do it somebody else's way. You don't have to like be on social media all the time. You don't have to do networking somebody else's way. Now, some social media can help in certain ways. There are introvert friendly and HSP friendly ways to do it. I'm not actually on social media a whole lot, so I don't think it's a necessity myself. There's other ways. Getting found in Google, being findable in Google is also an empathy thing. And that's something that I focus on. I think about what are people needing, and when they need someone like what I offer, what are they thinking? What are they needing? What might they type into Google when they're really needing help?
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm literally putting myself in their shoes. And then I'm learning, how do I make sure that Google knows that my website should be one of the answers when they type that in?
Perfect. Brilliant.
So that is empathy right there. But I do want to talk about the other thing I believe, the other things I believe highly sensitive people are really good at. This is a pattern. So I like to highlight these three superpowers that highly sensitive people have for self-employment. One is the empathy that I already mentioned. Another one is we believe in good quality services. So we're going to give good quality. It's going to be, we're at risk of perfectionism, right? Of being paralyzed by that. But brought into a brought into a medium range, it can look like really high quality service and attentive and taking care. And so that will speak for itself and lead to referrals. So that's another one. That deep caring means deep, high quality services. So it's another superpower we have. And a third one is we're really good at reading our own bodies if we will remember to listen, because we've learned to tune it out. We got to reconnect. And when we do that, we can really hear when we need something and take care of it. Mm. And self-care is your number one job when you're self-employed. You've got to take care of your energy because you're the instrument. I mean, the people I work with, I'm working with people who are service-based, mostly solo professionals.
Yeah.
You're the product. We just got to admit it. It's like your body, your well-being, your brain, your all that is what you have to take care of, just like you take care of your car if you're a driver for business. This is the car. So you have the superpower as a highly sensitive person. You have the superpower of knowing what you need and when to take a break and stuff, if we will listen.
Yes.
That's the trick. But yes, so we have these great, great, great talents. We just got to turn them towards good.
That's so empowering to hear because, like you said, for a lot of HSPs, kind of first thinking about it, it's that excitement. It's like, yes, I want the freedom. But then for many of us, it's that instant fear of like, oh gosh, this is all going to be too much and too hard. And what you're saying is that we already have these superpowers that prime us for self-employment. Yes, there are still steps along the way. Yes, please, yes, please, connect with support and all of that, but that we are wired in a way that enables us to be successful in this realm. That's exciting news.
We are wired with amazing gifts. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you. That was a great summary. Yeah.
Okay. So the self-care piece, I know for myself and lots of my clients, it's one that, I see people struggling with. It's almost like permission to give yourself the care. And I think for me, and I mean, I will speak for me. I think it's more than just me, but like the culture where we live in, especially work culture. I was in corporate America for a long time, and the work culture of the places I was in was very much about getting work done at all cost. It wasn't about taking care of yourself. Right?
No.
It was about take a vacation, okay, but work during vacation. Take a sick day if you absolutely have to, but you better be on email. Those types of things. So then transitioning to being your own boss, I know for me, I went through a lot of stages and finally realized I have to be a good boss to myself.
Yes.
And allow myself what I need. Because I am my business, just like you were talking about.
Yeah. And we have to really think about our definition of success. Is it just a money thing? Is it also happy and well?
Yes.
Right? So,
yes. And that freedom you talked about, right? How free does it feel if you're constantly like, oh, I can't, that's not my definition of freedom.
Yeah. You have to remember, like, what would your ideal boss be and really be it, commit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, as a self-employed person, you would think, well, who's going to answer the email when I'm on vacation? I do take a vacation, but it's true. I will sneak and look at my email too. I admit it. But you know what? I don't really have to be honest. I've set things up. I've got auto replies for new inquiries. There are ways, and luckily I love my work so much that actually thinking about my work, even when I'm on the beach, is okay because it's like a fun thing. I love it. So it's like, some of the best ideas come on vacation.
Well, and that is another piece of it, right? When we're doing work that really feeds our soul, then it's not this separation of work and
Yeah.
life. It's just like, oh, this is an
my
expression of
life.
who I am.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I love the picture of you being on the beach and then, like getting your best ideas. Like those
Yeah.
happen for me, in my walks in the forest. And it's that
Nice.
same idea where it's like when we're able to follow what's feeling good, give ourselves what we need, it actually opens those channels for like, what is the next thing I want to do? What is the next way forward?
I do think the best ideas come with rest.
Mm.
And, to be honest, if I really think about the beach, I'm just sitting there looking at the water. It's more like when I wake up or when I'm journaling or something that things come because I've rested.
Yeah.
Gosh. So it's good. I'm telling myself this again because boy, it's so easy to get caught in looking at your phone one more time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guilty of looking at that too much. Mm-hmm. So it's a discipline. It's part of being a good boss of my own brain. Like, wait,
Yep.
Take care of this brain. This is critical,
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. So go ahead.
I do want to add to my answer about the patterns I see. I just realized I see a lot of worries. In fact, I've interviewed people about like what are your worries about self-employment? And there's some consistent patterns. So there's not just the one about, oh God, how am I going to get clients? There's there's some that we've talked about. There's what about my energy? What about the energy while I'm transitioning and I still have a day job? How am I going to do that?
Yep.
There's how am I going to make it work? Am I going to have to work all the time, which we've addressed? There's, is this really going to work for me? Is my idea good? I mean, there's so many worries. And so I decided I wanted to help more people and not just, wait till they could do like one-on-one coaching or something. So I came up with a course that addressed all the classic worries. Like, how do you get clients? What do you do with this? What about, the logistics? Do I have to have this certain kind of entity? So I just like, bam, bam, bam. And it's specifically for highly sensitive people and introverts and the kind of questions they have. And what about our kind of energy? And so, yeah, so that was my exciting thing that I completed about a year ago. I worked on it for almost a year off and on and put together this course and tried to chunk it down to just get to the good stuff so that people could, with a, very budget friendly way, just get their big questions answered and have some camaraderie with other people in the course. So that's been a big achievement of mine that I'm very excited about.
That's
being able to make something very budget friendly to address these things that get in our way. Because I don't want this to get in people's way. It doesn't need to.
That's so great. And so this is a course that is self-paced. Is that right?
It's self-paced, but there's live calls that people can come to for camaraderie and questions. So it's got the best of both, like the do it yourself on your time, but also come and connect. Yeah. And every once in a while, in fact, I'm hoping to do it soon. I'll do like a live cohort that's going through it together so that you have like people starting at the same time. It kind of helps create a little accountability.
So fun. And so if people want to find out about that, how to sign up for that, where to find you, we're going to have all the information in the show notes, but if you could put it out there for the people listening, where would they go?
Good. So my website is valnelson.com, VALNELSON.com. So you can go there, valnelson.com/bridge, because the name of the course is Bridge to Self-Employment. So
beautiful.
How to transition to self-employment. And it's got all those classic questions. And they're addressed. And there's interviews of people who have made the transition. It's got it all. It's got my answers, got worksheets, it's got interviews and the live calls. Yeah. So it's fun. So Bridge to Self-Employment. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for offering that for people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. It's just, it's been very rewarding. One of my goals in my own business all along has been to create online courses. So not only does it feel good to me to have different ways of working with people, because I like variety.
Yes.
So that was important to me. Like, I have kind of a teachery background.
Mm-hmm.
So I like teaching as well as coaching. Then I like kind of doing a blend. And so all along I've wanted to do the one-on-one. I've wanted to do small groups because I'm a big believer in community, like we were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
the power of that connection. And I've wanted to have these courses so that people can, depending on what they like or what their budget is, they have different options. So it's been exciting to me to over the last few years to add in some online courses. So that's felt really good. And it's also made my business more stable, just like they say it should. It worked.
Imagine that.
Yeah. I have one, the other course I have is called, it's a career clarity course. So for people who are trying to decide what's the right business path for me, what's the right career for me, they can go through some steps to figure out what's going to work best for you, for your strengths, your values, your purpose, and all that, your personality and all that.
It's so incredible the way that you've taken all this info, taken, the hundreds, maybe thousands of hours that you've worked with HSPs, right? And introverts. You've been able to see these patterns, see the need, and using your own empathy, right? You've been able to create these courses that really address the needs of people that are asking these questions. I mean, you're just a great example of what we're talking about here. Like, you're doing it. You've done it. You're doing it.
Yeah, I've been doing this for about 14 years, my
Amazing.
business, the way it is now. And I don't even know how many people. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that made making these courses so much easier because I was able to capture those patterns and what are the classic needs and what are they skipping. And I even address the fear stuff. It's not just practical, do this, do this. It's like, oh, wait, what about that internal stuff? That's big stuff.
Yes.
So that's addressed. And yeah, a lot of people think, oh, if they go to a business coach, then it's really just, we're just going to talk business. But no, actually, it's very holistic, what I do at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the courses are too. People tell me they feel very supported and understood when they're in the course.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I was in one of your business circles and absolutely felt that way. And it is because exactly what you talked about, you address the whole human, right? We are there to talk about business, but we're addressing us in the business because that's just the vital part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're the business. Yeah. Incredible. Well, as we're wrapping up today, is there anything I haven't asked you that you would just really love to make sure people know before we leave today?
I don't know. Man, I feel like we touched on important stuff and I got to mention some of my courses, which I'm grateful for. And I love the way you ask questions. So it's just such a pleasure. We can put in the show notes too that the other course, or both of those. Those are great ways to get started if you want to connect with me. But you can also contact me about coaching, or my small group communities.
Beautiful. Val, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear the show and be able to share it with folks.
Absolutely. Thanks. And just a reminder for those listening, all the ways to connect with Val will be in the show notes. Please go check her out at valnelson.com. You will not regret it.
Thank you. That's lovely.
It's been a pleasure, Val. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to HSP Connection. If you've enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Also, we'd really appreciate it if you could rate the podcast and share it with anyone you think might be interested. It helps others find us. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, you can also leave us a review.
To get in touch with us, you can email us at hspconnectionpodcast@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you with your thoughts and comments on the episodes and any suggestions you have for future topics and guests.
We are both HSP coaches and speakers. And to find out more about Robbie, go to Robbie Leigh, that's leigh.com.
And to find out more about Philippa, go to safeandsupported.co.uk. See you next time.